Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to learn how to set up automation for multiple products in Razorpay. So I am selling digital courses such as digital marketing course, Java course, etc. with the help of Razorpay, and I am managing all the transactions related to all these courses with the help of payment gateway, that is Razorpay. Now I want that as soon as the customer is going to purchase any of these courses, according to the course which is being purchased, I want to share the notes and the digital course products with the help of Google Drive to that same customer. So how we are going to automate this entire process? For that, we have to set up a connection between Razorpay and Google Drive, and that we are going to do without the requirement of any coding and programming skills, simply with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you also want to learn this amazing automation step by step, for that you have to come towards my screen. Welcome to my screen everyone. Here we are going to learn how to set up automation for multiple products with Razorpay. So I am using Razorpay for selling my digital courses and digital notes. Okay, and I want that as soon as the person is going to purchase a particular product which I'm selling through Razorpay, then I want to provide the access to that particular user, to that particular buyer with the help of Google Drive for that same course. So here I have two courses, Digital Dynamics, that means the course for digital marketing, and here I also have Java Notes for Professionals. Okay, and I have created two separate pages for these courses. This is the page for Digital Dynamics, and here is the page for Java Notes for Professional. According to the purchase which the customer is going to make, I want to sell the product and I want to provide the access. So therefore I'm going to automate this entire process in such a way that whenever a person is going to make the payment for any of the courses which I'm selling through Razorpay, then immediately the access for that same course will be provided automatically to the buyer or to the customer with the help of Google Drive. Now to build this automation, I will have to set up the connection between Razorpay and Google Drive, and that I'm going to do without the requirement of any coding and programming skills, simply with the help of Pabbly Connect. So Pabbly Connect is an amazing automation and integration software which helps us to set up connections between multiple work applications to automate all our repetitive tasks. Okay, this is the homepage of Pabbly Connect, where we can reach by tapping the URL pabbly.com/connect in our browser. After coming over here, we can find two options: sign in and sign up for free. In case if you are already an existing user, so you can directly click on sign in, but if you are a new user, you have to click on this sign up for free button to create your free new account. Also, when you will do that, you will be receiving 100 free tasks every month to explore this amazing software and to test multiple automations. Now because I'm already an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in option over here. This is all apps section where we can find all the products which are offered by Pabbly. To create this automation, we are going to use Pabbly Connect, so let's click on access now. And it has taken us towards the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. So on this dashboard, we can find all our workflows which we have created, and we can also create different folders over here to save our workflows accordingly and separately. Now to create a new workflow, we have to click on this create workflow option. As we've done that, you can see a dialog box has appeared in front of us. It is asking us to provide a name to this workflow. So first of all, I'm going to provide a name over here. Set up automation for multiple products in Razorpay. After giving the name to my workflow, here I'm going to select the folder in which I want to save my workflow. So you can see I have multiple folders over here. I'm going to select automations for digital courses folder, as I've already created a separate folders for all the automations related to my digital courses which I'm selling. Okay, now I'm going to click on create. In a similar manner, you can also create different folders on your dashboard to save your workflow separately and accordingly. Now as we've done that, we can see that two windows are open in front of us. First is the trigger and the other is action. So what are trigger and actions? Trigger and actions are the two main concepts, the principles or the building blocks on which the entire automation works. Here the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. That means the action is the response towards our trigger. Whatever we are going to select in our trigger is going to command the entire workflow, and the actions are going to follow that same command. Therefore, we can have only one trigger in any workflow, but we can add as many action steps as we want. Now let's suppose here I'm going to select Razorpay in my trigger, and I want that as soon as the payment will be received through Razorpay by a customer for the course, then the access for that course should be provided to the customer with the help of Google Drive. So here, for example, I'm going to take Razorpay in my trigger and Google Drive in my action step. When we are going to set up the connection between these two applications, we can see that action is going to follow what the trigger commands, because when the trigger happens, that means when the payment is captured through Razorpay for the course, then only the course will be delivered or the access will be provided to the customer with the help of Google Drive, otherwise not. So after understanding the whole concept of trigger and action, let us start creating the workflow step by step. First of all, we have to select our trigger application to start our workflow, and here our trigger application will be definitely Razorpay. Let's select Razorpay. It is an amazing payment gateway which helps us to manage all the transactions easily and effortlessly. So I'm selling my course with the help of Razorpay, and I'm managing all the transactions related to the courses with the help of this. Okay, so I want that whenever the payment will be captured, immediately I want to capture the response of that payment inside Razorpay. Now, here when we have selected the application, we also have to select the trigger event. Trigger event is the event on the happening of which the workflow is going to trigger or start. You can see here we have multiple options. Okay, we want to select payment captured as our trigger event because when the payment will be received through Razorpay, then only the details of that payment will be captured inside Pabbly Connect and the workflow is going to trigger. So we have received some instructions for the setup, and here we have also received the webhook URL, which is going to act as a bridge for transferring the data of payment captured towards Pabbly Connect whenever the payment will be received inside Razorpay. And we have to follow these instructions step by step to set up this connection. So first of all, let's copy the webhook URL over here, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what we are supposed to do. After copying the URL, I'm going to take you towards my Razorpay dashboard, and we have to go towards the accounts and settings section. Before that, let me tell you that I am currently working in a test mode. So this is a test dashboard, and here all these pages are test pages, test payment links, and we are going to set up the connection also in the test mode. We'll go towards accounts and settings option, and then we have to go towards webhooks, and here we have to click on add new webhook button. And first of all, we have to paste the URL which we have copied from Pabbly Connect in this webhook URL field. Then we have to select the active event. That is very important part, because here we have to select the specific event on the happening of which we want to capture the response. So payment capture will be our active events over here, and now we'll click on create webhook button. As we have done that, here we can see that our webhook is saved successfully. This means that our connection between Razorpay and Pabbly Connect is absolutely successful. Now, when our connection is successful, let's go back towards Pabbly Connect. You can see that over here it is showing waiting for webhook response. This means that now we have to do a test submission in order to capture a response so that we can further continue the workflow. How we are going to get this response? For that, we have to make a payment because our trigger event over here is payment capture. So when we are going to make the payment using the pages which we have created of courses, then we are going to receive the response. So I'm going to once again take you back towards Razorpay dashboard, and here we will go towards the payment pages option. Here I have two pages. First is Digital Dynamo and the second is Java Notes for Professionals. So these two are the pages which I have created for digital courses. So when the payment will be received through these two pages, then I'm going to provide the access to the customers. So I'm going to open one of the pages, let's say Digital Dynamo. I'm going to copy the link of the page and I'm going to open it in a new tab. And you can see that here are the payment details. So this is the description of the course. Here we have the name of the course, payment details, and all other details over here. So the customer will have to enter the details over here in this particular page to make the payment of this 999 and to purchase the course. So let's start with a name. Here I'm going to make a test payment. You can see that I am working in test mode. So all the details which I'm going to enter over here will be dummy. So let's say the name of the customer is Smart User. Let's say the email address is smartuser490@pabblytudes.com, and here I'm going to use a random phone number. After entering all the details, I'm going to click on pay 999, and here I'm going to use UPI method in order to make this payment. So I'm going to enter my UPI ID and I'm going to click on pay now. As I've done that, the payment is successful for rupees 999. Here you can see the amount is clearly given. So now when we are going to go back towards Pabbly Connect, and here we can see that we have already received the response. In this response, here we have received all the details related to the payment which we have received. Okay, this is the entity payment method, that is the UPI ID. Here we have received the status of the payment, that is captured. This is the order ID. Here we have received the phone number of the customer, first name, last name, email address, method through which he has made the payment. Okay, entity ID, entity fee, and here when we'll scroll down, here you can see that we have received the currency in which we have received the payment. Okay, and this is the amount. Here we have received the amount with 2 extra zeros, you can see, because we have made the payment for 999, and here we have 2 zeros after the decimal, but here when we receive any payment through Razorpay, it is not considered the decimal, but we have the 2 zeros extra in that particular payment, okay, every time. So if you want, you can just remove this zero with the help of math operation by adding number formatter in your action step. But in this particular workflow, because there is no requirement of changing this amount, okay, therefore I'm going to keep it same. But definitely you can change the amount by dividing this number with 100 so that the 2 zeros could be removed. Okay. Now when we have received this response, what we have to do, we have to provide the access to the customer for the course for which he has made the payment. Now, for the course which has made the payment, how we are going to identify that? Because we are selling two of the courses, okay, digital marketing course and Java notes for professionals. So for which course we have to provide the access, for which course we have received the payment, how we are going to identify these things? For that, we have to set two different routes in our workflow. That once we are going to receive the payment, we have to identify that if the payment is received for digital marketing course, then we have to provide the access for that same course. And if we are receiving the payment for Java notes for professional, then we have to provide the access for this particular notes, okay, to the customer. And we do not have to make any kind of error in this process. Therefore, we are actually automating. So how we are going to set different routes? Now, on the basis of this amount which we are receiving for each of the course, because I have set different amount for different courses. So I'm going to open the checkout page for this Java notes as well for your reference. And you can see that here we have the amount for Java notes for professional, that is 399. And for the digital dynamo course, we have 999. So we have separate amounts for each of the courses. So on the basis of this amount, on the basis of the payment, we are going to make the difference. So here I'm going to show you exactly what we are supposed to do. We have to go towards our action step. Here our action application will be router. Router helps us to set different routes in our workflow according to our conditions. Okay. Here our action event will be conditionally run. Let's click on connect. And here it has provided us with two routes. We have two different routes. Now after router, we are going to continue our workflow in separate routes. So the workflow is now divided into two separate routes. And now after this, we are going to add all the action steps which we want in these routes only. So router is the very last step of every workflow. We cannot add any other further action steps. After that, whatever actions we want to use, we have to add them inside the routes only. So now from this step, my workflow is going to be divided into two routes. First will be the route for Java notes for professional, and the second one is for the digital marketing course. Separately, according to the payment, I'm going to add the action steps in these routes for each of the course to provide the access. Okay. So first of all, let's select the first route. We'll click on set filter and action steps. To move the workflow inside this route, we have to set a condition that on the fulfilling of which condition we want to run the workflow inside this particular route 1. Okay. So the condition over here will be that if the payment which I have received will be equal to 999, then the route will be definitely for digital dynamics course. Okay. So what I will do here, I'm going to select the label, filter type and the value. So in the label, we are going to select the payment which we have received. You can see this is our previous response. These are all the details which we have received, and here is the amount which we have received. So the payment over here is 99900. That means we have received the payment for 999, but 2 zeros are extra in the amount. The filter type will be equal to, and here in the value I'm going to enter 99900. So here the condition is ready. Now when the label will be equal to the value which we have entered, then only the workflow is going to continue further with this route, otherwise not. So here, because I have selected label from my previous response, that means I have mapped this label, and when the new response will be captured, automatically this label is going to replace with that new response. And here, because I have entered the value manually by typing, therefore it has become static, and now it is not going to replace with each and every new response. So you have to select the label from the previous response to map it, and you have to enter the value manually like this. So now when we are going to click on save and send test request button, let's check whether our condition is following or not. And here the condition is absolutely true because our label is matching the value. Okay, so because the condition is true, then we want to run the workflow with this route only. So we have to provide our action step over here, and we have to provide the access of the course Digital Dynamics to the customer. You can see that in my Google Drive, I have uploaded both the courses, Digital Dynamic course and Java Notes for Professional. These are the PDF for each of the course. Okay. So once the payment will be received, according to the amount of the payment for whichever course it is received, I'm going to provide the access with the help of Google Drive. So here my action step will be Google Drive. Here we are going to select our action application as Google Drive. And now we have to select the action event, that will be share file. Okay, let's click on connect. And here I'm going to go with the existing connection only because I've already built a connection with my Google Drive earlier. But if you want to create a new connection, you have to go with add new connection button, and then you have to go with sign in with Google. Once you will provide the access to Pabbly Connect to access your Google Drive account, which is 100% safe, then your connection will be absolutely successful. I'm going to click on save to my existing connection. And as we have done that, it is asking us the file ID, the email and the role. So file ID, that means which file you want to share. You can see that I have the file ID digital dynamics course. If the payment will be is equal to 999, then I want to provide the access for digital dynamics course. So here from the drop down, I'm simply going to select digital dynamo course PDF and the file ID is selected over here. Then we have to enter the email address. So to whom we want to provide the access. We want to provide this access of the course to the customer who has made the payment. And in the payment details from Razorpay response, we have received all other details of this particular customer as well. So among these details, we can find the email address. You can see this is the email address of the customer. When we will select it from our previous response, it will be mapped. As I told you, when we map a data by using our previous response, it is going to become dynamic, and now it is not, and now it is going to replace automatically with each and every new response. So whenever a new customer is going to make the payment for any of the course, the email is automatically going to replace in the field. Okay, then we have to provide the role. What role you want to provide to the customer for providing the access. Can add the comment or can edit the document which you are selling, or if you want to provide just can view option. So I just want to provide the access to view the document which I am selling, which I am providing them in order to study. Okay, so I'm going to select can view option and I will simply click on save and send test request button. As we have done that, you can see that we have received the response, and here we have that drive permission is provided. Here we have the ID, the type of the person is user, and the role is reader. Okay, so let's go and check whether to the email address which we have mapped over here, the access is received or not. Okay, and yes, here we can see that on this email address, smart user 490, the document is received. When the person is going to open this document, they will be able to view or read the particular PDF according to their requirements. Okay, and they have received the access for this course. Okay, this means that our connection is absolutely successful up till now. Here I'm going to simply cross this route. We have completely set up first route. Now we will move forward towards the next one. The next route will be for Java Notes for Professional. So when in that condition, when the person is going to make a purchase of Java Notes for Professional by making the payment for 399, then what we want to provide the access for Java Notes for Professional from Google Drive. So here we'll simply move towards our second route, and this time we have to set the condition that in the label, if the payment will be received equal to 39900, then the workflow should continue further with this particular route. Okay, so now when we are going to click on save and send test request button, you can see that the condition currently is false. Why? Because currently our value is not matching with the label. But once the condition will be successful after setting up the connection and the workflow is going to run in real time, then immediately according to the payment which we have received, the route will be followed. Okay, so when the condition is false, now also we are going to set the action step that if the value which we have received from the payment will be equal to 39900, then we want to provide the access for Java Notes for Professional. So let's click on this add action step button, and once again we are going to set up the connection between Google Drive and Pabbly Connect for providing the access for sharing the file. And here the action event will be once again share a file. Let's click on connect. We will go with the existing connection only. And in this particular case, we want to sell Java Notes for Professional PDF. So I've selected the file ID. We will once again map the email address of the customer. Here we are just setting up the connection, we are setting up the integration, therefore we are mapping the same email address which we have received in the response, so that it could change automatically according to every new response. Okay, here the role is can view. Let's click on save and send test request button, and you can see that here we have received the response and this is the ID. So when we will cross this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to rename these routes. First route is for Digital Dynamo course, so I'm going to give the name of the first route as Digital Dynamo Mastering Marketing. And here I'm going to change the name of the second route as well, which is for Java Notes for Professionals. So I'm going to give the name of the second route as Java Notes for Professionals. And in this way, we have separated the routes. Okay. Now, once we have set up the connection successfully, we are going to test this workflow. I'm going to go towards Razorpay, and here I've already opened the checkout page for Java Notes for Professionals. So I'm going to select the payment for, the amount is already selected, quantity I'm going to select as 1, name is let's say test user, email of this particular user is let's say test86@pabblytudes.com. Here I'm going to enter the phone number, and here I'm going to simply click on pay. I'm going to use the method UPI for making the payment once again. and the payment is successful. Okay, so the payment for rupees 399 is absolutely successful. Now as the payment is made, let's go and check whether the access for this particular course Java Notes for Professional is provided to the test user or not. And yes, here we can see that automatically without any manual efforts, here the access is provided to the same user, test user 86@pabblytudes.com for Java Notes for Professional. You can see this means that our connection is perfectly successful and our workflow is running fine too. So let's quickly summarize what we have done in this amazing workflow. We have set up the connection between Razorpay, that is our payment gateway, and we have used router then in such a way that whenever we are going to receive the new payment through Razorpay for the course, then according to the course which is being purchased inside Razorpay, the route will be followed and the access for that same course according to the purchase, according to the amount, will be provided to the customer. In the similar manner, you can set this connection, you can create this automation for Razorpay for any of the product that you are selling. And if you are having the multiple products on your Razorpay account, then this workflow is definitely helpful for you. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but you can integrate multiple such applications without any coding or programming skills with the help of Pabbly Connect. Now, if you have any doubt, you can reach out to us at support@pabbly.com. If you want to ask any query, you can reach out to us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issue, you can reach out to the website given over here. Now, if you find this video helpful, do not forget to share it with your friends. And also please like our video and subscribe our channel for more such amazing automations.